Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. The WBC champion Tyson Fury is seemingly fed up, venting on social media his displeasure at not knowing what he's going to do next, calling on his division rivals, Anthony Joshua, Oleksandr Uysk, Dillian Whyte, to sort themselves out. He wants to get back in the ring. So what I'll do is I'll play these clips now. So there are 3 different clips, relatively quick succession from Fury onto a social media, Twitter specifically.
Another gym session done. Tuesday morning smashed. Tick, tick, effing tick, tock is the subject of today. Is Dillian Whyte going to fight me? Is Anthony Joshua going to step aside? Let me know, because I am sick of looking at these bums. Sick of listening to their excuses. Tick, tick, tock. The time has run out the bottle. You're all getting a good hiding, cowards. I'm being asked this question over and over again. I do not know the answers to it. I'm ready to fight this weekend. I've been training 3 weeks. How long does a man need to train? Joshua's a coward. Usyk's a pussy. And Dillian Whyte don't want to fight. So if you can prove me wrong, get to fucking fighting. You pair of cowards. You're all cowards. You're all bumdossers. Either fight or do one. You pack of wet lettuces. I'm just going to keep videoing until one of these cowards decide to fight. You're all cowards. Shithouse bums. I don't care who I fight. AJ, Usyk, Dillian Whyte, or any of them. Fight me. I'm the best man that's ever lived. And yous are all coward bumdossers. I'll annihilate the lot of yous and destroy yous. Submit yous. Tap you bitches out. Come and fight.
So Fury not happy, calling Joshua a coward. So Fury clearly not happy, calling Joshua a coward. Usyk and he says that Dillian Whyte doesn't want to fight. And it's kind of ironic because Tyson Fury thrives on this sort of stuff. And I had seen a few people sort of saying, well, maybe this whole thing with the step aside potentially happening from Anthony Joshua and the stuff around Dillian Whyte. There was a few comments that have been left in recent videos, people saying that maybe this is a master plan of Eddie Hearn, Joshua Whyte, basically to collude to muck Tyson Fury around. And I thought about that and thought, well, it's boxing. Boxing is super petty. So I could see that sort of stuff happening. But this sort of in turn, Fury, coming out on social media, acting like he's all upset and doesn't know what's going to happen. And I mean, this could also be in that same vein, that he's feigning this sort of outrage and really he knows probably what's likely to happen next. Maybe he just wanted to get out there in public because Tyson Fury does like doing that. Let's face it, the headlines in recent days had been dominated around news for Joshua potentially looking at a step aside, talking about things not named Tyson Fury specifically. It was more around what Joshua was going to do. And you had the unusual step of Joshua coming out publicly with a clip talking about he hadn't seen a contract and that he hadn't sort of examined anything, but at the same time also not discounting step aside. So I know that conspiracy theorists and just pundits, boxing fans have been sort of running the whole gambit. What's really going on here? Was the talk of the £15 million to step aside? People have been saying as well, I've seen on social media, the comment section, that maybe it is Joshua and his team seeding it out there, that's what it would take to get a deal done. And maybe that's right. Maybe Gareth A. Davis has been manipulated to drop that story to get it out there to, if there is someone that really wants to put up that money, well, it could happen. Remembering, Joshua didn't discount step aside. He just said he hadn't had a contract or seen anything. But also calling a prince in Saudi Arabia to see what was going on. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes from what we understand from the story from Gareth A. Davis, and Joshua was attempting to find something out. Also having met with Eddie Hearn, his management team, to sort of talk about what's going on. So this whole thing, I mean, it is laughable to an extent because it just sort of sums up boxing. I was talking about some of this on Patreon just the other day. 2021, especially the month of January, promised much. You had a whole bundle of fights. Most of them ended either getting cancelled or pushed back. And it just sort of sums up the state of boxing in the heavyweight division right now. A lot of talk, a lot of bark, but no bite. You know, it's all steak but no sizzle. And that's the problem at this point for boxing more broadly, because we're just not getting enough of it, especially in the heavyweight division, the good stuff, often enough. And one of the things with the division that really irks me is these guys. I mean, Anthony Joshua said in a comment that, you know, he spends a lot of time in gyms because he only fights once or twice a year. I mean, you don't have to just fight once or twice a year. These guys in recent years, and sure, there's been a pandemic, but even before then, none of these guys were out fighting more than twice a year. And the thing is, it leads to this massive sort of backlog and bottleneck of fights. And some guys are going past prime. Some guys will never get title shots that in other eras probably would have. So, I mean, it just makes me laugh, the different stuff that's been happening, because it's like this big pantomime that we're sort of seeing all this sort of hand-wringing and sort of this gossip being dropped and so-called things being leaked, and really most of it sort of peters out to nothing. I mean, in the same token, some of this is really quite entertaining. I mean, I enjoyed Fury's rants, but in the same breath, you know, it is a little bit tiresome year after year, not really getting what you want to see, you know, especially often enough with the big fights. You know, you think about last year in the heavyweight division, what did we have, like 4 or 5 decent heavyweight fights for the whole year in terms of anything at any real level at the sort of upper end of the division, the sort of top 15 type guys? Anyway, we'll wrap it up there. I don't know what's going on. Is this Fury just sort of trying to get some attention? Is this really how he's feeling? Or is he just trying to having a bit of a laugh on social media? I mean, he's the king of mucking people around as well. So, you know, it's ironic that now he's having a swipe at others for doing what he's done before. Drop a comment loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Boxing_squared. I'm out.